All right, what's up, y'all? With another episode here. This is a dynamic effort upper body day. So I start off with a superset of log pressing with a little bit of legs. So basically, like my competition style log press. I don't do jerks. I don't try to strict press the log either. I don't think that that's the best way for me to press the most weight. I'm aware of the fact that I could probably jerk more than push press. However, I'm pretty stubborn. I just simply don't think that any jerk is a press. There's a distinction between the two exercises for a reason. So I just refuse to train it. I don't think that it's a badge of honor to not jerk and lose, but typically I've had pretty good success in my weight class doing log presses and stuff the way that I do. So anyways, I superset it with throwing, just kind of, killing two birds with one stone, working a couple different dynamic moves. In general, though, the reason I have the strongman movements most of the time kind of chilling on the dynamic days is that's a perfect way for me to get a lot of repetitions, work my technique, and add a little bit of volume without failure, to my training, kind of dial in the little bitty things before a competition. You might want to consider kind of swapping those two, at some point, because your technique may not work with how you do it dynamic on a speed day, might not necessarily translate to the way that you would want to clean a log on a max effort. So just some things to keep in mind. But in general, having done a decent amount of max effort work with the log, I'm aware of how my techniques work. I'm aware of power leakages. You'll see at the beginning, I had my hips kind of tucked, so I spent a lot of time working on getting those hips back, getting the glutes involved in the leg action of the press to help me get a little bit more momentum. My pressing in general has always been pretty good. Knocked my hat off a couple times here. But anyways, I like throwing as well, like Highland Games type stuff. It's a lot more convenient to do the throws on a knee because I can't throw it through my whole gym. So that's the reason I do it from the knee. Kind of eliminates the legs, helps me focus a little bit more on my cues with the upper body. But anyways, so you'll see at the end of this video what the log weighs, but it is 178 pounds, so whatever. I call it 180 pounds. It's a 180-pound log. So toying around with a 180-pound log, to me, it's a pretty good sign of where my upper body is. I mean, where my log pressing is, I guess, doesn't really feel like much more than just technical speed work. I think I'll actually need to start increasing the weight on the log in the future just to have something a little bit more to press against. Moving on, so my next group of exercises was a pull-up variation followed by, I think Joe DeFranco calls them triple threats. But basically it's a face pull into a rotator into a kind of overhead move, make a Y. If you're wondering why I'm using bands for my pull-up variation, it's pretty simple, just accumulating volume, okay? I don't have such an ego that I have to either add weight or only ever use body weight on my pull-ups. Anytime that I've ever been tested on pull-ups, I've always gotten at least 20 in the past 4 or 5 years, even if I'm not really training it very hard. It's not something that I feel like I can do on a normal training day. I just do it when called upon. So to me, it's a lot better to get a lot more volume, focus on the muscle groups that I want to focus on with a little bit of band tension. That being said, if you want a massive pull-up, if you're training for a massive pull-up, or you want, that's the goal that you have to, add weight and resistance and make harder variations. In general, I'm treating this the same way that I would treat like a lat pull down. I'm using these handles, to get wide, get neutral, kind of trying to build the inverse muscle groups from a log press or a sandbag press or a block press, or, trying to build the stabilizers with a lot of volume, hopefully build some tissue there to help stabilize my shoulders and my rotator cuffs, etc. You get the point. And I'm hitting it really hard with these supersets. If I were to add weight to my pull-ups, whatever, I'm getting 5 to 10 pull-ups and then supersetting it. It's not a whole bunch of volume that I'm getting anyways. So that's the reason I add the bands. It allows me to contract a little bit harder at the top and kind of work through that upper back movement. Depends on your goals. So moving on, doing kind of a kettlebell Arnold press-ish thing. Not super happy with this movement in general. However, lateral raises have a tendency to make my hands start going numb and things like that. So anyways, trying to work my shoulders, trying to build a little bit of strength endurance or whatever in the shoulder girdle. Just doing what I can with what I got. Heaviest dumbbells, 30 pounds. Anyways, and I supersetted this for 3 sets. By the way, the pull-ups and supersets, everything was 3 sets on the groups today. Moving on, I did some captains of crush grippers. Found out that my left hand's a lot weaker than my right. But that's it for the workout. I hope you guys found something valuable in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, Sandman is out. Here is the final weight for the log. Thank you for watching.